be a perfect example for you to put in your presentation to show a more advanced, even more advanced setting with a new picture. So we love this. I think it's an awesome picture. You know, but what is it that is the most, what's the most important thing in the photograph?
The fountain.
The fountain, okay? So, I think if,
the truck.
yeah, and we could, I think, can do that simply by working on our cropping.
Okay.
So let's start with crop and then see how much work we need to do. So that's usually kind of the first step. So come down here to the crop. And you remember that? Yep, there you go. And then you can do it, and then once you get it, then you can move it around.
I guess we can just start like right here. We'll just start right here.
Okay. So I think, like, see, and this would be like, okay, do we want to do that pole, or do you know, kind of what, remember your rule of thirds, that you want what your eye is drawn to be on one of those intersecting lines. So yeah, that's good. And then, yeah, I think that's perfect. Yep, and you could even come in maybe just a little bit further down. Okay, and then slide it over that way, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so you know, you can have that off center or that, but I think the way you have it, it's almost in a third of that, it's kind of intersecting there, so you're noticing this and not that. So, okay, that's perfect. Now push return. Right here, you just click, yeah. All right, so there's what we've got to work with. Okay, so what would be, what we need to do initially is get all of the settings like we want it, the brightness, the contrast, and all of that.
See what exposure would do. I feel like the exposure is fine.
Yeah.
Really. Or maybe like increase the highlights. I feel like the darker you go, the more you can see the water.
Yeah, and the shadows is another way to bring more light into, because you're lightening up the darkness in the back.
Okay.
So, and then if you scroll down here a little bit, I think what may be kind of cool is like with the vibrance or saturation, it'll make.
It's funny, I took this picture of Halloween, so the water's pink. So we can do the vibrance so they can see that.
Yeah, and then look, it shows those lights brighter too. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Okay, all right, perfect. So now next what we're going to do is come over here, and this would be your even more advanced, because you're really getting into like manipulating the picture and changing things. You can always go back by doing Command R. It's basically like reset.
Okay.
All right. But we want to get rid of this suit city. Okay. And I think you can spend hours on it, but sometimes it's just a very basic thing, but you gotta kind of practice and learn by playing with it. But so you remember our size of our thing, so it's showing us here what the size is. So click and keep clicking it and holding on it, and you should be able to.
Whoa, it's a little big.
All right, yeah, but that's okay. So look, it's gonna automatically, but click over here.
To this stuff.
And hold it and drag it. Drag it up or down. Yeah, go up.
Oh.
Okay, so, but look, it's completely feathered. So move the feathering down a little bit.
Can I get this?
Yeah.
Oh wow, the tree can just take over.
Right. So that could be a simple thing where it could almost just look like
The tree
there was
just
more
kept
tree.
going. Yeah.
And so what would be, let me show you. And so then if you're like, oh, I don't like that, you just push delete and it removes it. So, you know, maybe doing it a little smaller, doing it in 2 sections, if you really just wanted it to be white wall.
Mhm.
So try that and just press and hold and just kind of go. Because the thing is, it's got to match, okay? All right, yeah, now I'd stop. There, okay.
Oh,
See, and it will replace it with that.
okay.
And that way, then it's covered up. But you don't want to do that flagpole. So this is what I was saying. If you do exactly like, well, you could do like that, but and do a little bit at a time.
Uh-huh.
And kind of, you know, mess with it. Or what you could do is just pick this over here, because that way it's just solid.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so try it and do that little spot. Okay, all right, so once you let go of it and you get a new dot, it's a new edit.
Okay.
But you can always go back to the one that you were trying to work on, like you just did, and click and hold there and drag it to where, drag it like over here. Okay, there you go. You can still pick up what's underneath. Like that. Okay? And then, so then come over here and click.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just sort of click it and just make sure you pick it all up and kind of paint over it. All right, and then let go. And then, okay, see the dot that goes with it? Come over here to that dot.
Okay.
Press and hold it, and then drag it over here. And it's gonna fill it in with that.
Oh. I mean, that looks better already.
Yeah. So, but what makes this advanced is that you can practice and work on, you know, it becoming very, very detailed.
Mhm.
And if you know, sometimes you may just, like, I put that, but you may, once you zoom in, is sometimes what you need to do to really be able to see it
Uh-huh.
better as well.